Well, I don't know about you guys, but groceries are so expensive right now, aren't they? So in today's video, I'm sharing 25 healthy, cheap foods to buy on a budget. And these are the same foods that I reach for in my own kitchen. Plus, I'll give you tips for buying in bulk, meal planning, and making every penny count. I know the feeling of standing in line at the store and looking at the total and thinking, how in the world are we going to make this stretch? You know, as a larger family mom, I've had to get really creative over the years. There were seasons when we were on an incredibly tight budget, yet I still wanted to feed my family good, real food that would actually nourish us. And what I learned is this, that you don't need expensive superfoods to eat healthy. What you do need are simple, versatile staples that are affordable, filling, and can be used in many different meals. Now, before we dive in, let me know what's the one food that you always keep stocked in your pantry no matter what. Now drop it in the comments and I would like to see your answers. Now, first, let's talk about pantry staples. When money is tight, the pantry is your best friend. These foods last, they're versatile, and they stretch meals like nothing else. So let's first look at rice. It's cheap, filling, and it lasts forever. I buy it in these giant bags at Costco, and there are lots of different types of rice to choose from. My family prefers this organic rice. It's a little bit more expensive. If you are on a very tight budget, you can go with a different quality of rice, but I like the organic white rice. That's what my family prefers. Now, oats. So much cheaper than cereal and way more filling. And I really like this brand by 1 Degree. It's glyphosate free and it's non-GMO organic. And it's also certified gluten-free. So if you are celiac or have the gluten sensitivity, this is a really great brand. And I use it whenever I need anything with oats, and that includes oat flour. I will grind this up to make my own oat flour. Now, dried beans. I am not able to buy dried beans at Costco, but I can buy them in a bag at our local grocer. And it takes a little bit of prep, but they're pennies per serving. So do you soak your beans overnight or Instapot them? Let me know. I very much prefer canned beans, but you know, if things are tight, a bag of beans is the way to go. Now, lentils. I don't really have a whole lot of experience with lentils. I have a friend who absolutely loves them. I probably don't love them that much, but I do have them once in a while to add into recipes. You know, you can cook them for 20 minutes and it's perfect for a busy weeknight dinner, and it stores on the shelf for quite a while. Now, pasta. You can either do whole wheat or a gluten-free variety if needed. I prefer the jovial brown rice organic pasta, and I like to buy this in bulk. I always have it on hand, and it's just easy to grab during the week. Now, I am always looking for new ideas to do with pasta, so let me know what your favorite go-to pasta meal is in the comments below. Now, another thing that is good to have stocked in the pantry is canned tomatoes. Now, my family actually, we can a lot of our own tomatoes because we grow them from the garden and it saves us a ton of money. But if you need to buy cans of tomatoes, buy them in bulk. It saves you so much money. Plus, at Costco, you can get organic variety for even less than what you would buy single cans at your local grocer. Now, the next one is nut butter. So you can buy peanut butter and have peanut butter sandwiches, or you can go with a different kind of nut butter. Now, peanut butter sandwiches have saved my sanity so many times, especially with children in the house. But almond butter is one of the things that I have transitioned to. I've kind of stayed away from peanut butter a lot lately just because of my own health issues and health journey. But Costco is the way to go if you're looking for almond butter. It's way cheaper and the ingredient list is way smaller. Now, speaking of budget-friendly ways to make everyday meals feel a little special, I want to thank today's partner, Adagio Teas. Now, if you're a tea lover like me, their selection of gourmet tea and fresh loose leaf tea is such a treat. It's an affordable way to add a little ritual into your day, whether it's a calming herbal blend before bed or something energizing in the morning while you're meal planning. Oh, I've linked Adagio Teas down in the description with my affiliate link if you want to give them a try. It's a simple way to support the channel while enjoying something cozy and nourishing. Now, let's talk about fresh and frozen produce. Now, I know that these can feel a little bit pricey, but if you stick to in-season, hardy, or frozen, then your dollar goes much further. For instance, carrots. They're cheap, crunchy, long-lasting, and you have a little bit of a variety whether you want to choose the baby carrots or if you want the whole carrots. The whole carrots always seem to last longer, and they're way cheaper for the amount of vegetable that you get. Another one is cabbage. They're huge, hearty, and it can help stretch meals. And again, this is something that we do grow ourselves, but if you need to go buy a cabbage, you can use it for so many different things. You can put it in the fridge and it will keep for quite a while. And you can also dehydrate anything that you think might end up going bad, and you can use it later for soups and other things that would use dried cabbage. And then onions. You can buy them in ginormous bulk bags to save you money. And if you're like me, you probably use onions quite a bit because I use them in pretty much every dish. So we go through a lot of onions, and we did not grow enough onions in our garden to actually put them away. We only grew enough to eat and put in our spaghetti sauce. Another one you can buy in bulk is garlic. The flavor and health benefits for just pennies. Potatoes. You can get white potatoes or sweet potatoes. They're affordable and versatile. Again, Costco, giant bags, and they will last quite a while if you leave them in, or if you store them in a cool and dry place. Celery is another one that's great for soups and snacks. Again, I grow it in the garden and then I cut it up and then dehydrate it so I don't have to purchase it unless I'm doing celery juice, and celery juice you always want fresh. So again, buy in bulk. And celery actually lasts surprisingly well in the refrigerator I've had it last for several weeks without a problem. Now, frozen vegetables. They're nutritionally close to fresh and there's zero waste. I like to buy the bags of the frozen mixed vegetables at Costco because I can make things like shepherd's pie or a vegetable beef soup or things like a chicken pot pie type meal. All of those takes frozen mixed vegetables. And if you're not able to have a garden and grow your own, then that's the way to go. It saves you a ton of money. You only use what you need, and you can leave it in the freezer for quite a long time. So another one is bananas. It's the cheapest fruit snack. So you can eat them fresh, freeze them, make smoothies with them, make desserts with them, all sorts of things you can do with bananas. Another one is apples. You can buy giant bags for better value. For instance, today I went into our local grocer and I got a small bag of apples. And then I went to Costco and I found the exact same apples in a bag that was more than double the size, and it was the same price. So if you have a lot of eaters and you like to eat apples, buy them in bulk if you can't get them from your local farmer. Now, of course, with the fruits and vegetables, I always try to go for organic if possible. But again, with these types of things, if you're on a tight budget, you really need to consider the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And I've explained this in a video before, but the Dirty Dozen is just the types of fruits and vegetables that you really need to look at to minimize your toxic load. My rule of thumb with the Clean 15 Dirty Dozen is that if it has a skin that you eat, like grapes, you don't take the skin off, you eat it. That would be something I would definitely want to buy organic. Now, if it's something like avocados where you cut the outer skin off, then you can get away more so with buying one that's conventional and not organic if it really came down to needing to save those extra pennies. Now, protein is usually the most expensive part of the grocery bill, but there are budget-friendly ways to get it in. So first, eggs. It's the ultimate budget hero. Breakfast, dinner, snacks, you name it. And when you buy in bulk, they're actually really cheap. For me, I don't need to buy eggs at the store because we have $5,000 eggs because we have the coop and we have the feed and we have the upkeep, and they're quite expensive. But we like farm fresh eggs, and so for us, it's worth it. But if you're not able to have that, then if you buy in bulk, you can get 2 dozen eggs, organic eggs at Costco for $8. So, or you can go to the local supermarket and get 1 dozen of the organic eggs for $8. So you get way more in bulk and save so much more money. Another one is canned tuna or salmon. way more affordable than fresh, but still nutrient rich. Now, chickpeas, you can make hummus, you can roast them. I actually like to roast chickpeas and I like to put them on salads. They're delicious. You can use them in soups. There are so many uses for chickpeas that you can buy them in bulk and they can sit on your or sit in your pantry all year, and you have them for anything that you would desire. Now, whole chicken. Whole chicken is cheaper per pound than when you buy chicken breast. I definitely prefer our farm fresh whole chicken, but when you add up the costs, to raise your own chickens, it costs us, the organic, free range, it costs us like $25 a bird to be able to raise our own chicken. But today I was looking at the chicken prices at Costco, and you can get 2 of the young chickens for like $10. So if you're really on a tight budget, you can get a decent young 2-pack of whole chickens for pennies on the dollar in comparison. Now, when you buy the whole chicken, you can also use every part, and you can make things like bone broth from it. So if anybody else saves their bones for stock, let me know. Now, let's talk about budget-friendly additions. And so these last few foods are extras that bring so much variety and nutrition, and they don't have to cost a lot. For instance, seasonal squash. There's butternut, acorn, pumpkin. They're all nutrient dense and cheap in the fall and winter. Now, again, I grow them, so I just put them on the rack and we have them for several months. But if you can find them local, a lot of the roadside stands have them this time of year. That's the way to go. Another one is plain yogurt. You can buy the big tubs to save a ton of money. Or if you are really tight, you can just buy the little one of a Greek yogurt, a good quality Greek yogurt, and you can make your own yogurt. I've done this so many times for my kids and they love it so much more. It's so much healthier. You can buy a half gallon of organic grass-fed milk and just a little bit of yogurt to use as a starter. And then in a matter of no time, you can do it right in the oven and it saves a ton of money and it tastes so good. But you can use yogurt for breakfast, sauces, and even baking. Now, another one is bulk flour. So there's whole wheat or gluten-free blends, and those are perfect for making bread, tortillas, muffins, you name it. I can't really do the normal flour, but when I did buy it, I always went to Costco and I got the giant bags of organic flour for basically pennies on the dollar, considering what I was spending at the local grocer for just a small bag of the exact same thing. But I do prefer the gluten-free, the King Arthur 1-to-1 for a gluten-free flour if I have to use a flour. So I try to avoid using the flour mixes unless I'm making something like cookies or something for a crowd. But if it's just an additive to thicken something, I'll use other options like arrowroot powder, cornstarch maybe occasionally, or what else do I use? Or I guess that's about it, really. Arrowroot powder is my main thickener. But anyway, so another good option is seeds. Now you can buy sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds, and these are both affordable compared to nuts, and they are packed with a ton of minerals.
And finally, number 25.
Ferments, like sauerkraut, kimchi, or homemade. I do have a post on my website about fermenting onions, and those are absolutely delicious. I have not been successful with cabbage, making my own sauerkraut, but onions works great. Love them. And they are really cheap to ferment, and they are full of probiotics, and they can help stretch meals.
Now let's talk about stretching every penny.
Now, having the right foods is one thing, but the real joy happens when you know how to stretch them. Buy in bulk with things like rice, beans, oats, onions, and potatoes. They're always cheaper in big bags. Another way is to meal plan, just 3 to 4 go-to meals rotated through the week. It saves so much money. And I actually do all my meal planning on Sunday evening when things wind down. It's the end of the crazy busy weekend. The kids are winding down, kind of getting ready for bed. I'll sit down with my paper and pen and I will just jot down what types of meals that we're going to have for the next week. And then I build my list, and that saves us so much. It saves us hundreds of dollars, to be honest. When I did not meal plan, I was spending probably $200 in a week more than what I spend now. So when you have a larger family, every penny does count. So meal plan, it makes a huge difference. Another thing that I have learned is cook once, eat twice. So I like to double the recipes if I can. And I would say freeze the extras, but we don't even do that because that's Justin and I eat leftovers for our lunches during the week. And sometimes the kids do too. But because I'm more on a limited diet, it really helps me save time and stay focused with what I'm eating when I can just eat, pull something out and reheat it real quick from the night before. And I just increase the recipe while I'm making it. So the next couple day or maybe 2 days, I don't have to spend the time making a big meal for lunch. It saves me a ton of time, saves me a ton of cleanup, and it saves so much money with not having to buy things for another meal. Now, another tip is shop sales. Stock up on shelf-stable or freezable items. Now, couponing really isn't a thing anymore. I used to coupon all the time, and I had my little file folder envelope thing that I would stuff in my bag, and I was always so proud that I saved so much dollars per week with my coupons. I spent so much time clipping out, but that's just not the reality anymore. So now it's just looking through, you get email sales flyers from your local grocer, or even with Costco, you'll get an email flyer thing that says what the sale is for so many weeks. So base your meals kind of off of that if you need to. So, and another thing is you have to be realistic. I know I talk a lot about, buying organic and, doing this, no sugar, no this, no that. And that's the way that I have to be for myself. But it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily that way with my kids, because you have to be realistic or you're just going to be miserable. So with that, don't feel guilty if everything isn't organic. You have to start where you are. Like I said, like the dirty dozen clean 15. If some places, our local little grocery store, they don't even sell hardly anything organic. You don't have the option. But there are ways to cut down, wash really well, use a vinegar water solution if you're able to. So, but the important thing with eating healthy and keeping things with a budget is you can only do so much. So just do what you can and do your best, because just doing your best is what really matters. Now, let me know in the comments if you meal plan every week, or if you're one of the types that just wing it with what's in the pantry. I want to know, because I have friends that we go back and forth on this all the time. So it would be exciting for me to see what you guys do. So there you have it, 25 healthy, budget-friendly foods that will help you eat well without overspending. Now, you don't need fancy ingredients, just these basics for your pantry, some bulk buying, and a little planning ahead. Now, before you go, tell me in the comments what's your number one budget-friendly food that you couldn't live without. Now, if this video was helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's trying to eat healthy on a budget. Now, thanks for spending time with me today, and I will see you in the next video.